Despite the fact that his early career was launched on the back of comedies like Beetlejuice, it's actually been a really long time since Tim Burton's made anything funny. You have to go back as far as Mars Attacks, past a bunch of kind of really bad stuff that some people like Alice in Wonderland and Sweeney Todd. But that streak's coming to an end because he's making another comedy, which is really good news for somebody like me that's a fan of when Tim Burton tries to be funny. And he's trying to be funny again this week with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter and Michelle Pfeiffer in their weird adapted version of the late 60s, early 70s gothic soap opera, Dark Shadows. That show, which ran, was about ghosts and vampires in a haunted mansion, and so is the movie version, which really weirdly, weirder than even the idea of adapting this old show into a movie in 2012. Weirdly, if you're going to do that, it's weird that they keep a lot of the soap opera elements intact. It's structured as a comedy, and certainly from the trailer, it's clear that it's made to be a comedy, and there's a bunch of funny jokes, mostly around Johnny Depp's performance as the 200-year-old vampire who's disinterred in the early 70s and doesn't know what McDonald's is. A lot of those jokes are funny, but there's not actually that many funny parts in this movie because they decided to stay loyal to the idea of making a gothic soap opera. There's a bunch of scenes in this movie that are just conversations straight out of daytime soap opera TV about who's going to do what to this business and you betrayed me and I'm going to reveal something surprising at the end of this conversation. Except the thing about soaps is that they're on for an hour a day, every day. So you have this much material always to work with as a viewer. They're a very unique and effective way of doing melodrama, and the idea that you can condense that down and have that work, it's not going to work. The movie doesn't work. It's not funny enough, and the soap opera elements, even though they're well done, don't have the effect that they do in soap operas because there's not enough of it. It's too condensed and it just ends up feeling weird and boring. So, what should you watch instead? Watch one of the best dark comedies of all time made by one of the most underrated directors of all time. And watch The War of the Roses, directed by Danny DeVito. It was his second film after Throw Mama from the Train. And it was the third film in a row to feature Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, right? That's their names? I didn't spoonerize them or anything. Michael Turner and Kathleen Douglas. I could have done that really easily. It's about a divorced couple, and it's set in this, their shared house as they fight over possessions and custody and stuff like that, and eventually destroy each other, much like the characters in Dark Shadows kind of do inside their crumbling down old mansion. It's a much better film, it's much funnier, and it doesn't get talked about, weirdly, the way a lot of people talk about cherished comedy movie memories from the 80s. But they should, because it's very good, much better than Dark Shadows, and you should watch that instead.